All right, let's dive in. We're going to pull back the curtain on the internet and decode its secret language, HTTP. These are the commands that make the whole web tick. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be speaking the language like a pro.
Oh yeah, you've definitely seen these words floating around, right? Especially if you've ever poked around an API or looked at developer tools. They seem simple, but honestly, they can be the source of so much confusion. What are they actually telling a server to do?
It's not the worst guess. Get results, post a breakup text, put yourself first, and then delete their number. I mean, it almost works, but nope, that's not quite it.
The real answer is, they're the verbs of the internet. They are the action words your browser or your app uses to ask a server to do something. So, okay, let's get into it and figure out what each one is really trying to say. The best way to understand these methods is to stop thinking of them as lines of code and start thinking of them as a cast of characters. Each one has its own little personality, its own job to do, so let's meet them. First up, we've got get. This is by far the most common one you'll see. Get is, well, it's the polite one, the window shopper. It just wants to look at some information, a web page, some user data, a list of products. It never, ever changes a thing.
And honestly, this analogy is just perfect. Think about it. You're looking at someone's social media profile. You can scroll all day long. You can see every single picture, read every post, but you're not changing any of it. That is pure GET energy. Look, but don't touch. Next up in our little cast of characters is post. Now, if get is the reader, post is the creator. Its entire job is to add something new to the mix. Submitting a form, uploading a new photo, posting a comment, all of that, that's the work of post. And this personality, it just fits perfectly. See, post doesn't really check if something like it already exists. It just happily adds another one. It's basically shouting, hey, here's some new stuff. And the server's like, great, got it. Even if you've sent the exact same thing 10 times in a row. And come on, let's be real. We've all been this person, right? Saving endless versions of the same file. Well, post kind of embodies that same logic. Just keep creating new stuff and don't worry too much about the duplicates.
Okay, so now let's meet PUT. PUT is our perfectionist. It's not about creating new things. It's about updating what's already there. But here's the catch. PUT has a very particular style. It replaces the entire thing. This quote right here, it just captures the blunt, all-or-nothing nature of PUT so well. So let's say you want to update your user profile with a new email address. PUT doesn't just change the email. Nope, it takes all your new info and completely overwrites your old profile. It's a total replacement.
Which brings us to Put's much more relaxed cousin, Patch. Patch sees Put's whole replace everything approach and is kind of like, dude, there has to be a better way. Its job is also to update, but it does it with surgical precision.
And this is the whole philosophy of Patch, right? Why rewrite an entire user profile just to change one little email address? Patch lets you send only the piece of data you want to change. It's efficient, it's specific, and it saves a ton of unnecessary work. Okay, so this is where a lot of people get tripped up. But seeing them side by side like this makes it crystal clear. On one side, you've got Put, the perfectionist, who demands a complete rewrite. And on the other, you have Patch, the chill cousin, who just points out the one little thing that needs a quick fix.
And finally, our last main character is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. Delete is straightforward, it's decisive, and yeah, it's a little bit scary. Its one and only job is to remove something from the server for good.
See, there's no "are you sure" pop-up built into the delete method itself. It gets its instruction, like the ID of whatever needs to be removed, and it just carries it out. No hesitation, no looking back.
And we've all felt that impulse, right? That late night, I hate everything I've ever made feeling. That is delete. It's the digital scorched earth policy. And this, my friends, is why you always need confirmation dialogues in your app and, more importantly, backups of your database.
Okay, so we've met the cast, we know what they all do, but things get really interesting when we start talking about the rules that control them, specifically who is actually allowed to use them. This is where the real drama starts.
Here's the most important thing to remember. Just looking at data is usually fine for anyone. That's get. But the second you want to change data, to create it, to update it, or to delete it, the server needs to know who you are, and if you even have permission. That's what authorization is all about.
And I mean, this is why. Giving unrestricted access to methods that can mess with your data is just a recipe for disaster. You have to protect your data by making sure only the right people with the right credentials can make those powerful post, put, patch, or delete requests.
All right, that was a whirlwind tour, so let's lock it all in with a quick cheat sheet. It'll help summarize the personalities and jobs of our main characters before that coffee wears off.
Here it is, all in one handy place. Get, the polite one. Look, don't touch. Post, our oversharer, just create something new. Put, the perfectionist, wants to replace everything. Patch, the chill cousin, just wants to fix one piece. And delete, well, delete just needs to say bye forever.
So here's the thing. The next time you see an error like 405 method not allowed, don't get frustrated. It's not a personal attack. All it is the server telling you that you tried to use the wrong verb. Like maybe you tried to post to a URL that only understands get. It's just a simple miscommunication. Because now that you get the language, you can speak it with confidence. You actually know what you're asking the server to do and why you're asking it. You're not just blindly sending requests anymore. You're having a real conversation with the web.